What is up, guys? Sumi here with Thoughtcast, and today I'm going to talk about why women have become narcissists in today's dating generation. A lot of you guys reach out to me when it comes to dealing with young women and why they are not willing to give you the time of day, why they don't want to talk to you, and why the rejection rate when dealing with young, attractive women is so high. Let me break it down for you. A lot of people say that young women today are narcissists. Many people talk about the era of dating in modern day history as narcissists dating narcissists. And I agree to a degree, but let me explain why. I don't blame the girls of today's generation for acting like this, because when you're a young girl, you get all the attention in the world. With social media, with the internet, with dating apps, with everything that we have today, it is very easy for a girl that's 19, 20 years old to get a plethora of attention. Never before in history could you get the attention like you get today. A girl in the past would have to literally look the best and get attention from maybe 3 or 4 or 5 guys in her town, in her area. But social media really revolutionized the game. Now, if you're an attractive 20-year-old, 21-year-old, you can go on the internet, you can post yourselves, you can get celebrities, athletes, CEOs reaching out to you. You can jump on OnlyFans and make thousands of dollars a week, a day even, of just posting yourself and really using your body. And look, I understand why women do this. It is insane. The temptation is very much there. When you're being told and you're being sold a fantasy from Disney from day one that a man is going to come take care of you and everything is going to be yours and you're a beautiful woman, you're a 10 out of 10 and you're a queen, it's very easy to fall into this mindset that everything is going to be easy for you in life. And then when you get a little bit older and men are trying to fly you out, men are trying to wine and dine you, men are trying to take you to places, they're letting you into clubs for free, you're getting into VIP, it is very easy to build a mindset where I am the best woman in the world. I am amazing. I am a queen. I am the 10 out of 10. Men should treat me like this. But it's very, very sad because what happens is youth has always been preferred historically from men of all generations. When men go on dating apps, they don't pick just the women around their age. Like when women go on a dating app, let's say she's a 34-year-old woman, she'll pick 32 to maybe 40, right? That's realistic. That's around her age. But a lot of guys from the data of anonymous dating apps will pick, let's say they're 35 years old, they'll pick a woman that is 20 to 34. Men want younger. Young is good, youngest is best. And unfortunately, men can't always have access to young women unless they have a large level of financial stability, and that's why they date women around their age. That's why they date women that are around their parameter, their lifestyle. Obviously, for the social connection of the generations, and also number 2, because they can't realistically attract a young girl because they don't have the looks, the status, the volatility emotionally to be able to manage that relationship. You do see rare offsets of these relationships in LA and Miami, where a 65-year-old guy will be dating some kind of 18-year-old girl, but that relationship is very transactional. Now, I'm not endorsing this, but I just want you to understand that men like young women. And so when a woman is very young, her ability to secure a nice partner in the dating marketplace is very, very high. But really around 25 is where things change. And I don't want to say that women lose their value completely here or anything like that, but your sexual agency declines. Me personally, I think that women that are 25, 26 are more attractive than the young girls. I like a woman that's more developed, that has a little bit more mental substance to her. She has more experience. For me, that's more attractive. I can have a better conversation with her. But for a lot of guys, they like women that are very young. And that's to each his own. There's some guys that like women that are older. That's to each his own. But on a biological level, on a primitive level, men like younger women. And so around 25 years old, there's a pressure of the biological clock and just judgment from the dating market in itself. And you start to really close in on the gap of 30. Now, I don't know how many of you are 30. I don't know how many of you are approaching 30, but 30 is a very scary time for women. And it shouldn't be. It's not that 30 is the end of your dating era. It's not that 30 is the end of the world, but it is a milestone that women have to cross. And a lot of times, if you're not married, if you're not in a relationship by 30 years old, women get very depressed. It's very scary. It's very emotional because you don't know what life is going to have for you. Because once you have that 3 in front of your name and your digits and your age, men judge you differently. What happened in your 20s? Where did your 20s go? What did you do in your 20s? Did you just have fun? Did you party? Did you jump around in toxic relationship after toxic relationship? What did you do to cause you to lose the best years of your life when it comes to your sexual agency? And so a lot of men will have this question for you, number 1. And number 2, you don't look the same when you're 35 years old as you did when you were 21. It just is what it is. We naturally decline as human beings. Human beings, in theory, are not really meant to live past 30 years old, but with toothbrushes and bottled water and modern technology, we live very long. on a biological level, we're not meant to live very long, and our neuroplasticity declines really around 26 to 28. So we begin degrading, and it's all about maintaining and makeup. And anybody that says that I look better at this age when I'm older, it's not true. You're declining, men and women. Men also face this as well. But I want you to understand this. Right around 25, I know girls that have been partying and bottle service, going out, doing this, doing that. They start to not get invited anymore. They start to not get as much attention anymore. And really, when you start to hit 30, the bouncer ain't letting you into VIP as easily. It just is what it is. And it's very hard for women. And I don't blame them, because when you're young, you think it's going to last forever. When you're going from 18 to 19, the years are longer. The perception of time is even longer because it's more of your life. You have spent less time on this earth. But as you get older in life, I know some of you might be 30 years old, 35 years old. A year goes by like that. 3 months goes by like that. Time flies by. Now I'm 29. Time it evaporates. I don't even know where the year goes. I'm like, oh man, it's 2024 already. But when I was younger, the years were so long. Time was so, like a month was just an eon of time. So it's very easy to think that this is going to last forever, that the attention that you're going to get is going to last forever. And what happens is it precipitously falls off. Really around 30, the rate of selection that you get with dating marketplaces is about a third. Because here's the thing. Number one, you're not as attractive as you were before on a logical scale. Number two, the guys that are good, the guys that are great, got married off already, the ones that you know and grew up with. Number three, men are selecting for women that are younger. Men are selecting for women that have less trauma, less baggage. They don't want to deal with a woman that has XYZ trauma from a relationship. That just is what it is. Women also think this way too. You don't want to deal with a guy that has 5 ex-girlfriends that you personally know that he has dealt with this and that, right? But it's a little bit more forgiving for men because women like men that have success with other women. It's called mate copying or mate selection. So a woman is more attracted to a man when he has a little bit of game, when he has a little bit of status, and other women are selecting for him. Not that he's going out here and just leveraging himself out to all these women, but you know that your man has the ability to get other women, but he chooses not to. That is very attractive. Men, on the other hand, are more so repulsed by the idea of selection because it's a very ingrained wiring for mate selection and the viability of the offspring. Men are repulsed by the idea of you being around other men because in a primitive standpoint, it is a doubt that they have when it comes to the offspring being theirs. You know, it's funny. I know stories of people that worked in clinics where they tested, if the father was the father, and about 40% of situations, it's actually not the case. It's very scary. It's a crazy stat, and a lot of people don't last in these professions because they're just so traumatized by it. It's up to 40% in certain clinics in certain cities where the father is not actually the father. So I think paternity tests are huge. But my point with this is women lose their value precipitously. And it's not that they lose their value completely as who they are, their sexual agency drops. And the way that you offset this as a woman is by having good conversation, being smart, being intellectual. There's a lot of girls that are in their 30s that are much more attractive to date than some young girl that's 21 that has no life experience. I completely agree with this. But when it comes to the initial factor of selection, men are lustful. Men like the way you look. Men like the way you walk, your silhouette. And they're going to pick the young girl. And if a young girl is in the mindset to settle down, she's going to have a very easy time. A lot of women come to me when they're over 30, and I'm not saying that there's no hope for you, but they say, where are all the good men that want to settle down, that want to provide? They were there when you were younger. You just chose to go out and party and do these things. And if some of you are getting offended by it, some of you need to hear this. Some of you need to hear that you blew your 20s. Some of you need to hear that you should have locked down. And now that you're in the state, you need to really redefine your standards of dating. It can't be the same guy that's trying to play you and the multimillionaire that's doing this, that, and the third. Some of you can get that, but most of you cannot. Especially if you have children, it's hard. Men don't want to date women with kids. They will take them if there's a lot of value being offered. Because a kid, even though a kid is beautiful, I love children, it's a constant reminder that you are with another man was inside you, another man busted inside you, he had sex with you, he did this, that, and the third, and that kid will never actually recognize you as your real dad. In many situations, he might say, you're not my dad. You have to deal with baby daddy drama. You have to deal with the baby daddy who is territorial about his girl, and there may still be issues there. On top of that, if the relationship ends and you become attached to the kid, now you lose that connection. You lose that relationship that you've invested into. Raising somebody else's child is very, very disadvantageous for a lot of guys. So there's a lot of obstacles here. And so with this type of information, I want you to understand that if you are young right now, if you're the youngest you are in this very moment, which you are, use this opportunity to select high quality mates. Don't waste your time going out on dates that don't necessarily make sense for you in the longevity, and don't waste your time partying, drinking, hanging out with people that are not going to really help you grow in life. That is a waste of time. You getting blackout drunk in a VIP section when you're a young girl is literally useless. So if you know someone that's young If you know someone that's in their early 20s, send this video to them. Help them. Help them understand that this is the time that you need to lock down. And if you're someone that's a little bit older and you blew your 20s, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but you need to learn to redefine your standards of dating. You need to look for stable partners that have a good head on their shoulders, that are willing to be there for you, and you may not get the top quality guy in terms of how he looks, the bad boy, but you got to change that. You got to step out of the idea of dating toxicity and go for more so stable, peaceful relationships. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for taking the time out of the day to sit down with me and listen to me. If you guys ever want to connect with me, there's a link in my bio where you can book one-on-one time with me. Check us out on Telegram, on Instagram, subscribe to that YouTube, hit that bell notification, and check us out on all major podcasting platforms. Until next time, guys, Sumi out.